Hello, I'm Malcolm Haslett.
And I'm Janice Baker. The world is buzzing with technology and people are becoming more concerned with privacy and cyber security.
In this episode, we'll meet two people who are actively involved in protecting you. Next on Our Time. Two weeks in a row I've had a voice. Touch wood. Look,
I think you're back.
I'm back.
You're back.
I think I'm back. Look, we often get people talking to us from this program about Facebook and using the internet and being concerned about those things, which is understandable. If you, like me, weren't taught about these things when we were children at school, we learnt, we had paper and pens, we didn't have keyboards and screens. So we now have to learn what kids are learning all the time. And so we're very grateful to have with us Acting Superintendent Daniel Wray. Daniel, welcome.
Thank you.
And Sergeant Julie Jones.
Hello, Julie.
Hello.
We were saying we know another Julie Jones who's a dancer who used to cut in halves in a magic act.
And we're going to try that after, right?
We will. What a good idea. I'm glad you volunteered. Get out the saw. Look, what is cyber security? What is cyber crime? And what exactly is it? How does it happen?
I guess cyber crime really is a criminal activity that's carried out by the use of a computer or on the internet. And there are many aspects to it, but really it could be a crime that's directed at a computer, such as a hacking or the installation of some sort of malicious software, or where the computer itself is an integral part of the offending, which may be like your online scams or for the distribution of illicit sort of material online as well.
Well, how do they find your computer? How do these baddies somewhere in the world find them?
Well, it's the contact that they might have with you. So I think when you talk about that, you think about people in the community who are subjected to a scam. And that contact can quite often be a telephone call, which then directs that person to their computer for a particular reason.
So they're saying, like, this is the tax office and you need to do something via your computer, or this is the police and you've been charged, or, oh, and I'm ringing you up because you had an accident and I'm the insurance company.
No, exactly. Did you have an accident in the last 2 years or something? No, I've had that recently.
Certainly, yeah.
So are these the sort of things that you're talking about?
Yeah, you're right. There are certainly, they do pretend to be from government organisations claiming that you might have an unpaid fine or you might have an arrest warrant, that sort of thing. So we do see, and we term those sort of a threat of arrest scam, where you might get that phone call saying that you need to pay a fine.
But that doesn't happen in real life, does it? I mean,
no,
the police aren't
right.
going to do that.
It's
That's
not
what
a method
happens.
we use, no. So,
No.
I mean, and as you talk through what's happening with these scammers, you start to realise there's a number of things that we wouldn't do, but they're very convincing in how they tell you and how they come across. So, for instance, they use a method call ID spoofing, and I'm not sure if that's something you're familiar with, but you'll see on your phone that the caller ID might be the phone number of your local police station or your accountant or the like, and so there's that extra, legitimises what they're telling you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So if I had, the accountant's phone number programmed into my phone, it would come up with the word accountant. If that's what I had.
That's a possibility. Yeah.
How on earth do they do that?
Oh, look, it's a technical sort of an issue, but it is available. There are internet sites that make it possible. Yeah.
That's why I keep getting weird stuff from people I've never heard of trying to sell me things and asking me to respond. I've learned a trick, particularly on the internet, to always look at the sender's address, and if it's not something I recognise, or even if it's not .au or .com or whatever, I realise that, hang on, I don't know where this has come from. And quite a lot from Russia, I think, because there's the UR, I think it's UR, isn't it?
Well, it takes that, and that's something we all need to be aware of and start questioning those aspects when you do get contacted.
So look at the top, look at who sent you that message.
Yeah, look, and if you're ever unsure, then make your own inquiries and make the phone call back by using your own source. You might find that the phone number for that company or that government organisation elsewhere, and make the phone call back and check with them.
Well, I've started using the trick. Oh, look, I'm sorry, I can't talk to you now. Give me your phone number and I'll call you back. It's amazing how quickly they hang up when you say that if it's phoning.
Yeah.
So how does this remote access getting into your phones or computer actually work? Is it
So that, as I said before, that you might get the phone call directing you, and the phone call, the person on the line might claim to be from a computer software company, from a telecommunication provider, and they might say to you that you've got some issues with your internet speed or that you need to install some new software.
I've had all those,
Yeah. So they'll direct you to a website, which is one that they've
Set up
created,
themselves.
for this purpose, and get you to install some software. And once that software is on your computer, they can very easily have access to everything you've got on your computer.
And what they can find the keystrokes like for your passwords
Yeah, well,
and things?
that's the thing. How did they get the passwords to get
Yeah,
into
so-
all of that? Because obviously that's what you know, and it's meant to be a secret from everybody.
Well, it should be, yes.
Well, that's the software that they're getting you to enable on the computer. So very clever, intelligent software that will scrape your computer for personal information.
But this is actually how it's done, isn't it? This is how these scams work.
Yeah, so
They convince you've got to respond, because it's in the responding, isn't it, that the real problems occur?
Well, I guess it's a point, isn't it, whereby we can stop the scammers is if you do question some of what they're asking you to do and taking your time to think about it. They'll try and push you into doing certain things and acting quick and installing this type of software. Yeah.
I think as you get older too, you become more gullible to that type of thing. It's like you have to help these people because...
Yeah, but if you're honest yourself, you don't think people are going to be that dishonest with you.
No,
I think
no.
that's the other problem.
Yeah, and it is. It's new technology and it's hard for a lot of people to understand exactly what's going on.
No,
Yeah.
I don't understand half of it.
So these investment scams, this is sort of how this works, isn't it? It's like this Bitcoin thing of pay money and get Bitcoin instead of hard cash.
Yeah, well, I guess you said investment scams. Now that might be similar again, where someone's contacted, or it could be a business that's contacted, or someone that works for the business, and it's often people who are looking for that opportunity to invest in something that's giving you a good return. It might not be overly unbelievable to think that you can get this return, but nevertheless, it's often quite a good return, and they'll set up the websites that they'll direct you to, and it will show what you believe to be a legitimate company and with legitimate earnings and a good investment strategy. So you've just really got to be careful when you get those phone calls about what you're looking at.
Well, so they're all good examples of the things that can happen. So what do we actually do about it? Is there a time that we need to contact the police?
Well, I think there is an online reporting for cyber crime as such, which is the Acorn platform. You can get all this information through our SA Police internet site.
Yep.
We've got a good amount.
We're putting that up on the
there.
screen right now.
Yeah. So that's probably the best place to go initially. That'll direct you to the right place to report these sorts of activities.
So just say you've been carefully sending money to some poor soul in Africa because that's the one you've fallen for, or you've fallen in love with somebody that probably isn't male or female, depending on your sex, and I've just sent $10,000 foolishly to them. What do I do now?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you've come to the realisation that's occurred to you and you're convinced that you've been scammed, that you really do need to report that. So you'll see how to do so on our website, and we'll do everything we can to help you out.
Is it personal contact with police though for this, or is this something that continues online?
Oh, by all means, you can have that personal contact. Yeah, there's every opportunity for you to come in and make those reports, and we'll help you out.
Okay.
I know people are thinking that poor girl hasn't got a word in edgeways yet.
You've answered all my questions. I'm like, go
No,
for
because
it.
this isn't your specialty, this side of things, is it?
Yes,
more or
so
less.
The prevention and community education side of things is where I come into play, but the boss has done an amazing job at answering all my questions. So.
So every question from now on is directed
Is
to
yours.
you.
Oh, great. The pressure.
And how come you dressed this way and he got to wear the suit?
Yeah, he's got a bit more up here than I do.
Oh,
So,
It's cruel, isn't it?
That's all right. Someone had to be in uniform. It's all good.
So What advice would you give then to older generations who aren't that aware of where they can go wrong with these things?
Yeah, so we do a lot of community talks for people of an older age, and
Like us, Janice. That's
no
like us.
way,
No
no
way.
way. And one of the biggest things I do personally identify, as well as people that I work with, is just their belief in other people. So if they get a phone...
My problem.
Exactly. So if they get a phone call and someone's claiming to be from the police, from the NBN, from Telstra, from the ATO, all of those companies, they immediately believe that
it's
that's
true.
who is calling them.
Because they're the government department.
Exactly.
Of course they could have my phone number.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So what we are telling people at the moment is if you do have a mobile phone and you're receiving a phone call from a number that you just don't know, if it comes up that it's from Perth, if it comes up that it's from Sydney, if it comes up that it's from some random place you've never heard of and you don't know anyone that lives there, don't even answer it. The people that go, oh, I'll answer the phone and I'll string them along because I know it's a scammer.
Well, it's a bit of a game, isn't it?
Exactly. But
Just hold that thought for a moment. We've got to take a break. I wonder who'll ring us in the meantime.
Oh, dread
We'll
to
be
think.
back. Don't answer the phone. Could you answer the phone, please, Janice?
No, sorry, we interrupted you before.
okay.
So, just continue. With
Yeah. So what we tell people is if you're receiving a phone call and you can see on your phone that it's from a number you don't know or from an area you don't know anyone that lives there, don't answer it, because the second that you answer that phone call, you are showing the person at the other end or the scammer or even the computer at the other end that it's a live phone number.
Yeah.
And if they sell that to a scammer or if it is a scammer, someone's going to answer, so it's worth trying.
So Phil, our floor manager, just asked a question in
Yes.
the break, which was, is the reason these scammers have got phone numbers because Telstra, who used to own all the numbers, sort of sold them off and they've all,
Dissipate.
whatever the word,
Dissipate.
Oh, she's so intelligent. Dissipated into other companies and therefore they've been snatched. Is that a fair...
From my knowledge, no. I've never heard that as a way that these numbers are getting out there. What we are aware of, though, is that some of these scammers do have computers with technology in them that, it's less manpower for them, so they can shoot off hundreds of thousands of phone calls
all at once.
by the computer just trying different number combinations.
Yes.
Oh, what?
All right,
Really?
so that's why
So
we
it just
say
sort of
don't-
dials, one, two,
Absolutely. So
three.
that's why
Yeah.
we say if you don't know the area that's calling on a
No.
mobile phone, don't answer it, because it might just be the computer and you've confirmed that you're a live phone number.
And that's when you get that gap between the
Them
phone,
answer- yes.
ringing. There's always that gap, and
Gap.
you hear finally someone click in.
Yep, either that
I hang
or,
up straight away.
or you get your automatic message. So you were saying before that you've received certain phone calls. I myself apparently have 2 warrants for my arrest. So
You naughty
yeah,
girl, you.
I know. My husband wasn't very happy with
Don't you
that.
know someone that could do something?
Yeah, so, and that's what scares people. And as soon as that occurs, they do believe that it's true. So those that are a bit more trusting in humanity, don't answer the phone. If they are telling you that you need to do certain things, hang up and ring the company that they say they're claiming to be from.
yeah.
Absolutely. Just to confirm it.
That's actually really good advice. So what about children? Because there are children involved that are answering phones and responding to things online, perhaps without parental supervision. What advice can we give parents?
Right, so there are a number of really amazing resources available to Australian residents. So we've got the eSafety Commission, so they are the #1 body in Australia to do with cyberbullying and that sort of behaviour. The resources on their website, fantastic. There's also Think You Know, which is a Federal Police run program as well. Online resources are amazing. They can empower parents with so much information for different games, apps, because everyone automatically goes to the phone. Oh, it must be a phone app, or I have the,
true.
the iPad. But a lot of people don't realise a lot of contact's actually made through gaming consoles. The games that have a chat function, and they've got the little headpiece on and that sort of thing.
And the kids, they actually do go.
They do.
All around the world. They can have
Global,
contact.
absolutely, and it might be someone claiming to be a certain age and that sort of thing, and it's not.
No.
Or I've had people come to me because we work at the Royal Show every year. I was walking past the lounge room and my son was being yelled at by a grown man through the TV. So it's not just people pretending to be certain ages, conversing with the kids, grown people.
But
Yeah.
that falls into all sorts of other categories,
Absolutely.
doesn't it? That's the scary
Absolutely.
part.
Yeah.
But is the message also, don't be afraid of this technology, just be aware that there are pitfalls, do you feel what's the... what way should
Absolutely.
You're allowed to talk now.
No, look, Julie's doing a great job, so I won't interrupt. But you're right. It's technology is making a lot of things really, really good
Easy.
in society and easy. But so yeah, you're right. We're not to be scared of it, but we just need to be aware of what we're dealing with and where the traps are.
I've often said to people, older people in my age group who, again, weren't brought up with technology, we've all got a letterbox out the front and anyone can stick anything in that letterbox that they want to, but we tend to glance and chuck before we even open many of them up because we know they're genuinely not for us. Is that a way to sort of look at...
Oh, it's not a bad thought. I agree with you. Yeah, you do. We all get
I'll
junk
come
in
and
our
work for
inbox,
you.
don't we? Yeah. No, it's great. You're right. It's that sort of a mindset that people just need to rethink what they're receiving.
Well, don't be afraid of your letterbox, don't be afraid of your inbox sort of thing, but just be
Absolutely.
aware of what's going into it,
Yeah.
more or less.
If it doesn't look right, it probably isn't.
No.
Yeah.
So like
If
you're
it sounds
saying-
too good, it definitely
Absolutely.
isn't.
I mean, you said before that you look for .com.au or something like that, but, people will click on a link because it's from Telstra, but it's telstra@gmail.com. And
Exactly.
Telstra obviously don't have a Gmail email
Exactly.
account. So
I tell you the one I love, and I get these all the time, it's the major stores like Coles, Woolworths, those other supermarkets that we've got all around the country, offering special deals, but you have to fill something in to get the special deal. And as soon as you look at the address, it's some strange combination of letters that you think, that would be sort of, that brand name at that brand name. It wouldn't be at fredblogs.com.au sort of thing.
absolutely.
So you have to fill out all your details for that
Yeah.
type of
So you put all your stuff
rewards.
in.
Yep.
Because you think you're going to get
Get a
something from
prize,
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you think, well, they only just want to send me the specials each week. Hello? No, they don't.
I mean, even the other night, I was on Facebook and a post came up and it said that it was Qantas. And I looked and there was over 20,000 people that had shared this particular post. And when I've looked at it, it was get in before 8 p.m. and share this post and send us all your personal details and you'll get 2 free first-class tickets to anywhere you wish in the world.
Oh, that sounds nice.
And within minutes, 20,000 people had already shared it, which meant 20,000 people had given a non-Qantas person
detail.
all of their personal details, name, address,
I'm
everything.
really glad you said
very
that
scary.
because that is one of those things that pops up all the time on something like Facebook. It's that, well, for me, it's the supermarket, fill in the thing. I'm just trying to think of some of the others, but it is frightening because you really have to have your wits about you. And I would get, I reckon, at least 20 to 30 of those bodgy things in every single day. And it's probably because I do a lot of searching for people to be on the program. You go onto different websites trying to find people and hello, you've opened the back door, so to speak.
You just need to delete. Don't even open the emails. If it's from someone you don't have an account with, delete it immediately.
Yeah.
If it is from somewhere where you do have an account but it sounds a bit strange, if you get an email saying you've been experiencing issues with your internet and you haven't, click on this link to fix it, delete it. Don't even go, I wonder where this link takes me, because the second you click, it's too late.
Well, I got a bill from AGL and it looked like an authentic bill, excepting for those letters after the @ And I thought, now what do I actually do about this? Because they need to know that someone's sending out these phony bills. It was interesting because it was really quick to alert them. They gave me the address to send that bill to, and I've never seen them since. Never seen those bills since.
Yeah, so if people do receive these phone calls or emails or anything like that, they can approach a police station and report it, absolutely, but immediately they can actually go online and report it online.
The proper provider.
Yeah,
So that's an interesting thing to talk about. When do you need to bring the police into the equation, I suppose, because you're busy, you don't really need this sort of stuff, and I suppose to be reasonable to everybody, this is small-time crime for us. It's not the big-time crime that's obviously happening, quietly, that we believe is occurring because we see it on television every night. Is that true? Are all these big scams really happening?
Oh, absolutely. If ACCC just released a report for 2018, and the increase over the last 5 years is absolutely mind-blowing. We're talking multi-millions of dollars.
Oh, goodness.
From ordinary Australian citizens that are losing their life savings. Anything from $50, which is a lot of money to some, to millions in individuals.
Are these mostly on the dating sites or the send your money to, Ethiopia sites or whatever they are?
The particular report that I was just referring to, which we do get our numbers from because they nationally grab the statistics.
Statistics. I know. I'd
Yeah.
give you my teeth, but I have trouble with that word too.
They gather national statistics. Number one last year was investment scams. So that's people believing that they're, going to make some money real quick, investing in many different things. Yes, online currency is one of them, but lots of other things.
Is Bitcoin
Bitcoin?
for real?
Yeah, it is. It's
genuine.
But someone's not going to offer it to you online?
If you are advised to go and make payment via Bitcoin, that's one of those flags, those red flags.
Yep.
You don't go there.
Absolutely.
Say that again. If you see...
If someone asks you to make payment via Bitcoin to pay some unpaid fines, it's a red flag.
Absolutely.
Because you don't accept Bitcoin.
The police don't accept it.
Police don't
Not
accept.
just Bitcoin.
Any other
Yeah.
type.
All of that
We're
stuff.
talking gift cards. So at the moment, iTunes vouchers, Google Play vouchers. When they're calling, they're saying you must immediately go to your local whatever supermarket and buy thousands of dollars in gift cards. And people are doing it. And as soon as they give those gift card numbers back to the scammer, their money's gone.
You're gone. Hold that thought. One more break and we'll be back with some final advice. Welcome back.
Yes. Now, it's been a very interesting conversation. Obviously, we've been talking about scams, but people need to know that they can get help if they are very concerned.
Yeah, well, something's come up. Don't rush to the police immediately if you're being cyber bullied. See if you can fix that yourself by going to the website, your website.
No, so if it's cyberbullying, go straight to the e-safety Commissioner. Sorry, I got stuck then.
E-Safety
Commissioner.
Yeah, E-Safety Commissioner.
They are the go-to. So they won't just take your report. They can take down posts, take down websites, that sort of stuff. They've got a lot of power.
They can actually take them down.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, and even the other forms of online reporting, it might not come to us directly by attending a police station, but they always do filter through to the relevant police service. No
because
you'd
need to know what that whole package is. Yeah,
absolutely.
And the funny thing is, these very clever people on their computers, phones, or whatever. I guess it's really all computer driven. Keep changing the way they're doing this, don't they?
That's part of their method, is to change how they scam the community, so that they are constantly changing and they don't get caught. So I guess the message here is too, through our website, we will keep the community updated with the current trends and what's happening out there. Yeah, by all means, I'd encourage people to visit and take a look at that.
Have it in your search engine as a permanent thing, I would suggest.
Absolutely.
If this continues until people get caught that are doing this and stop it, What are the sort? Oh, this is an odd question to ask you, but when people are caught that are doing this, is there a punishment for this? How do you stop them being part of the community?
Yeah, well, I guess this is an international stage that we're on here,
Yeah.
so it's not state-based. So it really depends on the jurisdiction in which these people
Where it's
or this
happening.
person is operating.
So you'd contact them wherever if you found there was a whole bunch of things coming in.
That's, I guess, how our reporting platforms work and how we communicate across jurisdictions and share that information.
Well, thanks once again to the South Australian
Been
Police.
very helpful, thank you.
Yes,
very
great to have
much.
you on the program, and we hope that's been of real assistance to you, that it's taken a bit of a fear out of it and made it clearer what it is.
But just remember, if it's a number you don't know, don't answer, really.
And if it's an email address you don't recognise, it doesn't make sense, don't click on.
No.
And don't fill out any of those things that are offering you free cards, free whatevers, free discounts or whatever. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
being
very
part
much.
of the program.
Yeah.
We look forward to your company very soon on our time next time.
Yes, we do.
Until
Take care.
then, keep yourself nice till then, or we might come and arrest you.